Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Republic Football. It's great to have you back. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
It's great to be back.
It's great to be back.
It's been a lot happening since we last spoke.
A juicy 7 days.
It's a meaty 7 days, and I hope.
There is so much, but I feel like to take it anywhere but Payne Avenue is is just crazy. So start us off because you have Payne. I'm like hurt, but you have Payne.
So where do we begin with United? There's so much.
10 games,
so
6
much.
losses.
10 games, 6
there.
losses.
I'm beginning there.
Look, it's at this point, it's very difficult to really break down the game and be like, oh, this is what's wrong, blah, 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 blah. Look, as United supporters, we know what's wrong. Okay? So, but that's the larger picture. If we're honing in on like what we can do now with what we have.
Yeah, take away the Glazers, crutch.
Take away the Glazers. Like what we can do with
crutch.
what we have right now is, look, we've been conceding goals straight after scoring them. First, number one. Yeah, number one. Number two, we don't really have a set defense, I've realized. We don't have a set defense. We've got a lot of injuries. Our defenders are cack. Onana has just been...
Wait, before we deep into the Onana, because you know I want to dive on that, no? You must also deep it. You have 3 left backs in your squad and all 3 are injured.
Yeah.
Like, so there is an injury crisis. So we have to add a point there. We must at least put something in the United bucket. But
100%. There's an injury crisis. Not to say that should be a defining factor to playing the way we are. And look, in the last game against Galatasaray, we actually played pretty well. You know, we played pretty well. Hoyland, I love this kid.
God.
I love this kid. I'm gonna lie to you, no? Guys. I never expected him to be the way he is.
I didn't expect it.
I didn't expect it. I just thought, okay, this is another youngster. You're gonna come to United. You're gonna be swallowed by the pressure eventually. But like, he's got poise. He's got composure. He's really good on the ball. He's like shockingly good on the ball. Like, I'm gonna make a statement now, and I'm gonna put it out there. Haaland versus Hoyland in terms of on the ball. Hoyland takes it. 100%.
I love that. Man said that was chess.
100%.
Man said that
I'll
was
say
chess.
that with my chest, 100%.
After 3 games, United.
3 games, all you need. 1 kiss is all it takes, bro. 1 kiss is all it takes. Okay, that's besides the point.
Chill on that propaganda.
Look, that's besides all the other things. Look, right now as United fans, we need to come to terms with the fact that we on whatever expectations we have, the team's gonna fall short of that. I think these days you really gotta look at us and like think, look, going into a game, we could win it, we could lose it. There's no air of confidence around us. You know what I mean? You really just gotta enjoy the wins and like, you know, the losers are gonna come. You know, we're not gonna be that great team. And I think what's really gonna matter the most is if we can play cack, if we keep playing cack, if we can do that without sacking the manager, the club turning toxic, if we can survive just playing cack, because that's just gonna happen. We're gonna play cack. Like a lot of good teams, like when they're going through this transitional phase,
you play cack before you get good.
It gets worse before it gets any better. Do you know what I mean? And I think what's important is that the fan base doesn't turn on Ten Hag or the players or single out anyone, because we love finding scapegoats. We love
Scapegoat FC.
Scapegoat FC. But we just gotta realize, like, yeah, you could say it's a process, but it's gonna be difficult. It's really going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. But I do see positives. I do think we need to give Garnacho more chances, 100%. Rashford's not playing that well right now. Yeah. And yeah, man, it's just been a sticky situation for United. And I know it's heartbreaking to see your team like really struggle the way we've been struggling, no? But I believe if we just stick with it and don't throw the plan out of the window by changing managers, changing this, going absolutely ham. And you know what's crazy to me, no? You know what's crazy to me? I'm gonna go on a rant here.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy to me?
Yeah.
You know what makes it a lot harder for United as a club? The fact that in any other club, when they're going through this phase, yes, they'll get criticism and shit like that. But when it comes to United, we've got people going on Piers Morgan interviews. We've got Zlatan talking to Piers Morgan about United. We've got Cristiano goes on Piers Morgan. We've got Jadon Sancho He's out in the media. It's almost like, it's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous. Like, if you really watch, like, what the media does in reaction to any kind of United turbulence, like, it's blown out of proportion.
Immediately. Someone's eating because of it.
Ten Hag, the pressure gets mounted on Ten Hag. Look, Onana is a prime example of this. Yes, remember David De Gea didn't do too well when he first started. And yeah, they were on him. Onana didn't do too well. He's struggling right now. But it's going to swallow him up, because, like, he's not going to do well now. And the pressure is going to mount. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. Every mistake. Because remember, Ederson came through. Alisson came through. They made those mistakes. You know, like, ball playing modern goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He did that.
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone's laughing. Everyone waited for the moment. And they all did it. It all happened. Everybody laughed. But nobody discarded them as goalkeepers. Onana comes in, he makes that same mistakes that you're gonna make as this modern goalkeeper, and he is being eaten alive.
I'm taking a bite, blood.
You know what I mean? So that, playing with that kind of, like, with the world on your shoulders, that's why United is a different kind of a beast, bro. It's a different kind of beast. You need to be mentally tough. You need to be able to handle a certain kind of pressure that's just inhuman. It's just inhuman playing for United, I think.
I'm a big advocate that United is the biggest crybabies in the league. And the situation you describe is a reality. It is a situation that you yourself created. That I want to say. It's United fans are the root cause of all of this.
Think about this.
Huh?
Is it United fans or is it the media? Because think about it. Whose voices do you really hear? Do you hear the fans or do you hear the media?
I hear.
The media tell you what they say the fans are thinking.
Yeah.
And that creates
a narrative.
The narrative. The media builds a narrative. The fans are just there. The fans obviously have opinions, like all the fans are. But the media builds it up to be more than what it is.
Yeah, and like any good lie, there will be a degree of truth in it.
Yeah.
They'll make sure that it is pumped to you. So I also don't like the science fiction sounding, it's the media. The media does have a good, definitely they do have a big impact on it. But I think reality is that on the pitch right now, and that's where it matters, from training ground to pitch, you guys just aren't good enough. You aren't absorbing. You aren't grasping the essence of what Ten Hag wants to do. Yeah. And I think that you're at a point now, where you need to decide, I look at you, no identity, you are worse than you were last season, and things are looking dark. And I look back to my darkest moment, which was Mikel Arteta's the dark times, bro. Where you look, so when you were supposed to be fired, no?
Yeah.
When you get to when you're supposed to be fired, and you just get a day out of it, and it clicks, that's when your tenure starts. So it's whether or not you can survive this dark time now. Because I think winter is here. Winter isn't even coming. Winter is here.
Winter is here.
You know? We need to be on top of the wall. We just need to be watching. Yeah. This man, them are pulling up. And if your team and your fan base can just realize that, look, it's going to be struggle city right now. We are low, no? But the second players start to check out. And why I'm worried about Arsenal v United situation is, no? With Arsenal, we had a very young core. There was a large group of hungry young players. Smith Rowe, we built it on Smith Rowe, Bakayo Saka, and they gave the fans something that is priceless. You gave us homemade star boys. Yeah. And at United, your homemade star boys are out here padding up gal and doing all the other madness, blood. So there's no real fan connection. Rashford thinks that Rashford's Mbappe. Yeah. Rashford thinks he's that guy, blood. He's not. He might be brown, but he's not Mbappe, blood. Yeah. so it's. I'm concerned what you have to anchor yourselves to. There's already Ten Hag out there. I love it. I've been pushing that narrative. I'm the media. I've been pushing the Ten Hag out narrative. I've been pushing the Onana narrative. But in reality, you just haven't been good enough in the pitch, and that's what allows narratives. Everyone, the narrative on your team, you mustn't act like a narrative is only a bad thing. When Arsenal's doing well, blood, everyone's sourcing Arsenal just look amazing. They're gonna win the like. Everyone dick rides you, or no one wants to suck your dick at all, blood. There's no middle line, and you have to kind of. You as fans need to toughen your skin and understand that this is a process. If y'all start pitching out, you fuck. Because Ten Hag now is at the lowest of the low. Let's see what you can do, blood. 10 games, 6 losses.
Yeah.
Onana's out here getting smashed every week, blood.
Yeah.
And man's not even getting peas for it, blood.
Yeah.
This is just for free. He's giving out. Like, it's shocking errors.
And it's not, I was thinking about it. It's not that we made such a bad start that really concerns me. And I'm gonna be pushing that media narrative very hard. Because it's not that like the bad start, the bad playing, like that's okay, I see that, no? But I see that we could always just get through that when things start clicking. My worry is that this now creates a kind of toxic setting, a kind of like, oh no, yeah, they crashing and burning, like everybody's like United's in a crisis, blah 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 blah, and it's like a Murphy's Law kind of thing. Now they speak it gets spoken into existence. All the players are hearing about it. Everybody knows. That kind of changes the mood from okay, backs against the wall, we gotta fight for our lives, to it's already over. Do you know what I mean? That's what I don't want. I don't want that to completely destroy Onana's mindset, because it could. It could.
When you consider that Bayern goal, no? That moment where he's just laying with his face in the floor, that is a very dramatic man, which I can resonate with. Or someone that literally just felt the need to plant his face. When your goalkeeper makes a mistake like that, no? You want to see it affect him, but I want to see that chin up, blood. The second your head is down and his head was literally in the ground, that shows me something's not right.
Do you remember the City, was it 6-2 when they smacked up for 6-2?
Which one?
And now that there was one with Davide when he was still new.
Yeah.
And I think Jacob.
Oh, the 6-2.
And then Davide, he started doing this. It started beating the guy. Started crying. It looked like he was crying or some shit like that. And like I always think about that. Like always think about how bad it looked for him then. It looked really bad. At that time, I thought, this brother was going nowhere. Do you know what I mean? He ain't going nowhere here. And I think because in those days, there was less of like media narratives and less of like, people going crazy. I don't think so, bro. I think it's ramped up. I think there's 10,000 podcasts now speaking about one moment.
We are 10,000
We are one of them. But back then, we didn't even know Joe Rogan was back then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think it's such a crazy beast that United keep feeding, and I think it's gonna be hard for us to really get out of that. I think we're gonna have to like break it down to its bare bones to like really create a new culture to kind of escape that kind of toxicness that's just this club is plagued with for some reason.
Do you know, ne? And you know how I feel about United fans. Dickheads, love y'all. Y'all my closest man them. But dickheads, you just sat here, spent the last 7 minutes talking about everything besides what happened on the football pitch. Like, y'all on the football pitch, y'all aren't doing the things. You're talking about media narratives. You're talking about Davide in the 6-2. On the soccer field, you aren't applying yourselves. You aren't running hard enough. You aren't doing what you're supposed to. Where's the accountability for the players?
You're
talking about the moon and the stars.
You could say that this is what's wrong on the field. You could give all of those things. But at the end of the day, the way I see it, everybody really has their own way of looking at what's really wrong and what's going on, what's not being done, who's making mistakes, blah, 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 blah. But I'm trying to look at like yes, it's going wrong on the pitch. But it's making sense to me why it's wrong on the pitch. We are going through a transitional phase. We are going through a phase where we have now completely reshaped our back line. We have a couple of injuries. We have a coach trying to try new things. We have the expectation of taking that next step. And sometimes it doesn't go that smoothly. Sometimes you are going to lose a couple of games. You know what I mean? And every game you lose, you could analyze it a different way. Oh no, you should have done this, you should have done that, blah, 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? There's 1,000 different ways of looking at one loss. So it doesn't really help like, yes, they aren't applying themselves. Yes, they aren't winning the ball enough. Yes, they aren't scoring goals. Because you could say that about any kind of loss. You know what I mean? So I think for me, in my personal opinion, I don't think that's necessarily the problem.
I think you're hiding. I'm gonna
I
tell you
don't think
straight.
that's
You
the
just
problem,
went on
honestly.
a lovely tirade here. You just out here spun the most beautiful yarn I've ever seen. The reason we are here is because on the football pitch, you're fucking
For
up.
you, for Arsenal support, for a team that's doing well, let's say you lose a game. No, listen. Let's say you lose a game. Or let's say City lose a game. You could go into that game and you could dissect that loss into why you lost and why this and that's okay because you might bounce back. Oh, you have your identity, you have your culture already. It's all set in stone. Next game, okay, you guys work on whatever. But in our case, it doesn't really help tripping on every loss like this is what should have been done in this game, blah, blah, blah. Because we're going to lose more games. We're going to lose more games in different ways, bro. There's not one real answer to that problem. Do you know what I mean?
I deep it, but also stop with this victim mentality. Oh, you Arsenal successful.
It's not a victim mentality.
I'm looking at you're just gonna stay the victims whole fucking day.
I'm trying to look past all of the pain and the
we don't need
madness.
to go past nothing, blood. Like we let's talk about in the moment. You know, we're running because I already took away your Glazer's crutch and you just went to go find some other sticks to help yourself walk with, blood. Like it's exactly this. It's on the football pitch. You need to be better. There's people not applying themselves. Bruno on the right's not working. That's the problem. Why is Bruno Fernandes a right winger? If anything, put Mason Mount out on the right.
Yeah, but he didn't actually start on the right wing. Maybe he started on the right wing. Bruno was actually in the midfield. I don't know why. Bruno played on the right wing for a short period, and people are saying like, "Oh, Bruno."
Because Bruno always ends up on the right.
And I don't like that either. I don't know why he's ends up on the right.
Why? Look here. Here's a thought. Now, this is not one of my simple things. No, when Arsenal were going through our dark time, what we did was we took Bukayo Saka from a left back and we moved him to a left winger. No? He was good there, he was doing bits. Then it got dark outside. We were supposed to be home long ago. Yeah. And then we moved him to the right wing. And then we started to see light. So I think the light for you guys and the light for Marcus Rashford
move Bruno to left back.
Move Rashford to the right. Because if you move Rashford to the right, no, you get your outball on your right. Rashford can, on the right, he can create his goal. He'll be central most of the time. He will pull slightly to the left. He just won't be wide left, starting out wide left, we can drift and cut in. Yeah. No? You are taking that out of his game. But what you're giving yourselves is the dimension that you don't have. That winger that gets to the byline, that cross for Hoyland was butts, blood.
Yeah, it was.
And it's the first time in time I've seen Rashford cross a ball. Like, is that weird to say? I know that's speaking kind of in what's the word now, probably or something, but it is an exaggeration. But when was I ever seen Rashford cross the ball? When he gets the ball, he's either going to cut in and shoot or he's going to pass it back.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. He's not really that guy. He's not really that go to the byline and cross the ball.
And think about that. That can take him to the next level. Because now, instead of him having 20 goals a season, he's got 15 goals, but he's got 10 assists.
But Rashi doesn't want to hear that, bro.
No, but
Rashi wants to play left wing because he knows that's where he gets his bread the most, where he can shine. Because you know what, in Rashi's mind, he wants to be the top boy.
He wants to be the top.
He don't want to be fucking working the roads. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he don't want to be
on no corners.
He wants to be the top boy, 100%.
All the resources must come to him.
Yes, and that's a difficult one. Like, I would like him to play on the right, but his game is kind of like really. To be honest, he's actually the best game he can play is on the left. To be honest, no. And if we do take him to the right, we miss out on one of his major strengths.
Yes, no, but sometimes your major strength is also your biggest weakness.
Biggest weakness, 100%.
And I think right now Marcus Rashford is predictable. Like in that Arsenal game, I was shouting at Ben White, he's going to cut inside. He's going to cut inside. He cuts inside Ben White. It's like, what? Like, bro, where else was that?
I think about this. Do you remember Ian Robin? Do you remember how predictable he used to be?
No. Ian Robin wasn't predictable. Ian Robin was a tormentor. Ian Robin sat in such a high room. Like, you knew exactly what he was going to do, no? He was just so goddamn good, there was nothing you could do about it. Yeah. And Rashford, unfortunately, is not in that category remotely. In terms of consistency. Robin did that every game. Every game, he's doing that tap dribble. He's going to shift it to the left, bang you. And if he didn't shift it to the left, he shifted it to the right. And what did he do? Went to the byline, he cut it back. And what's that nigga's name? Gomez? Was it Mario Gomez or?
Yeah, I was just about to go in there.
Mario Gomez is just tapping that in for his 13th goal of the Bundesliga.
He's 13 goals of the Bundesliga.
But can we stop ranting about this?
We can stop ranting.
Your pity party done now.
Look, there's so much more we can talk about, but let's just move on because United is an English topic. It's a bottomless pit.
It is a bottomless split. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to play y'all something. So last night I'm sitting there watching Arsenal lose, and the second Bukayo Saka went off, I knew we fucked.
Yeah.
I knew it was deep for us. I knew it was long. You know. And then after the game, I go and look at the United score because United were up to 1 at a stage, and I was nauseous.
Yeah, we were up,
because United had just gone 2-1 up the moment we went 2-1 down.
Yeah.
I was disgusted. Like literally, I was watching a watch along on the side and I just watched United. Hoyland score that goal and then Arsenal concede a bang, and I'm like, oh my god, just like I don't need to live right now. And then I send names a voice note. After United loss, opening a voice note for me is very dangerous. I want y'all to play. I want you to see the emotions names was going through. I want y'all to see the emotions names was going through. Let's just listen to this shit.
I'm not going to entertain it. Listen, I'm not going to listen to this voice note. I'm not going to entertain it. Just keep it big for me. Proceed.
And then I send him a text. Arsenal also lost. What's the shift in energy? Tell me this ain't some hater shit.
Oh shit, that's crazy. I was so consumed.
That's some real hater shit, and you have to respect it. You have to respect when people are open about their hater shit. I was like, you know what? I got vibes from United losing. You know, I felt a bit better about myself, so it was chilled, man. But the Arsenal game, David Raya. David Raya. The Raya Ramsdale debacle is dragging on, and I think it's caused such an unnecessary. There's so much unnecessary drama about it.
Yeah. But you can't have two starting caliber goalkeepers fighting in one spot.
And I'm gonna tell you something now. No? Now that I've got a bigger body of work on Raya is Ramsdale. He does the exact same thing. Just Ramsdale doesn't look as confident doing it. No? Raya also kicks cuck. Raya so pumps it into the sideline. Like everything Ramsdale does, Ramsdale just looks a bit more frantic about it. But there's days where he's got solid kicking. There's days where bro, for the goal, for the equalizer, no? Raya tries to dink the ball out to Tomiyasu. They intercept it, they go score a worldie first time dank.
Yeah, I saw
in the top corner. I'm like, what's going on?
The way that ball curled was a bit crazy. The first one.
Bro.
I thought he was getting it, but it looked almost like it bent around his hand and then came inside.
Bro, it was like, I was like, guys.
I think, you know what's weird about this whole, this modern goalkeeper trip? I think people are getting too lost.
They're getting lost in the sauce,
Oh
man.
no, you fucking need to be doing Rabona as a goalkeeper, you know what I mean? It's crazy, people, I always thought Aaron Ramsdale was a pretty good goalkeeper, and for Arteta to go out and get Raya, who I think is really marginally maybe. He's got.
I don't think he's better than Ramsdale.
The only thing he has, is last season his stats were better than Ramsdale. He had better marginal stats. That's the only thing you can see, really. It's marginal stats. However, Ramsdale got you back into the Champions League after 6 years.
And Ramsdale has that David De Gea in him. Ramsdale will make a fucking crazy save.
And I think that's getting lost.
That's what I like, guys. We started to forget why we are here.
Why don't we just fucking put Tony Kroos in the post then?
But no, if you want passing, why not get Tony Kroos? Bro?
Yes, put him in your goal post. That's what you want these days. Just scrap the goalkeeper position.
But no, I want when the ball goes back there, I want to hope that this could be saved.
Yeah.
I'm worried about and especially now, no, you're brought in to kick. You're kicking cuck.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna lose.
Yeah.
Are you mad to mess with my emotions like this?
Yeah, it's
what's going on with you?
Yeah.
What are you doing here? This was your only hope. And Arteta, I don't even. So Arteta has this thing now, no? Arteta has gone into a deep dark place when it comes to his stubbornness. Firstly, Bukayo Saka has gone off injured this season, no? 3 times already.
Yeah.
3 times. He will then miss the whole week of training, and the Saturday is starting against Bournemouth, against like weird teams, against Lens in the Champions League. I understand this Champions League, it's a tough away game. The boy didn't train all week, blood. Bakaya plays every moment. He's played, what is it? I think he's at like 85 consecutive Premier League games.
You must be very careful with that, bro. Like, I've seen it with Rashi. Star boys can get burnt out.
They get burnt out.
You get burnt out. And then you start going through dubs very early in your career because you've been playing so much football.
And look, the top players have been playing football and they play every game. And that's what Teta's argument, no? But it's clear Bukayo Saka is hanging on by a thread. And now against Lens he goes down, most likely out of the City game. We have been asking, I mean, in the previous game now in the week, no? I think we were up 2-0 and Bukayo still sat back. Bukayo Saka still on the field. And I'm like, Teta, we're up 2-0. It's the 60th minute. Take Saka off. Give him 30 minutes. Let him rest. You saw it. The job is done. You 2-0 up. Take Saka off. He was just injured the game before this. Saka stays on 5 minutes later. Saka's injured. Straight down the tunnel. That's
a thigh, no?
Yes. No, it's a hamstring now, allegedly. And he's got a known Achilles issue. Like, if that Achilles snaps, it's done. Bukayo will never be the same player.
Yeah.
I want to tell you straight. It's Arteta's at the moment. I feel like he's doing so much. The Kai thing isn't working, no? And the Kai thing isn't working because Kai Havertz is playing bad. The position Kai Havertz plays in is Arsenal's worst position. Arsenal's left side get the least love because Odegaard, our captain, and our other star boy Saka's on the right. So everything moves through them. Basically, Havertz and generally Martinelli, when they get the ball, they're allowed to make 1-2 movements and they must pass it back and must go back to the right.
Yeah.
They themselves aren't allowed to like interplay just because the main flow of our play comes to the right. So it's just like, for fuck's sakes, man. Just, what, Lens?
Look, at least you've got some points on the board in the Champions League. You know what I mean? Look, you're gonna lose some of those surprising games. You know. I think the more concerning thing is that you guys are playing City next.
Yeah.
And your star boy has gotten injured, which I love. I love that. I would like his hamstring to get torn straight off the bone, and I want to see Larry Wheels moments. I want to see you. I want to see it pops up. That's what I want to see.
That's dark.
That's dark. It is what it is at the end of the day. Yeah, I don't think it's so bad for you guys. I don't think that one loss is so bad for you guys.
Nah, you out here on your own cock.
I don't think so.
I'm not happy with that bullshit. VAR.
The big topics. Oh, you don't want to play the VNs?
We can do that after VAR. Like, VAR has to be discussed.
Yeah, VAR has to be discussed. So guys, I know you guys are up to date with the craziness that is VAR. Absolutely crazy. So, in the game between Liverpool and Spurs, Liverpool got a goal disallowed for an alleged offside. So the linesman and the on-field ref decided it was offside, right? But the VAR room, what's that brother's name? Dan Cook or something? Dan Michael or some shit like that.
I don't know the name.
They are busy discussing whether this goal should be given or not. But they are just like, the amount of, I've never ever heard what it's like in there. This is the first time I've heard this. And it's making me think, is this what it's always like? Is this how they kind of...
That's 100% how they communicate. Like, I was listening to the audio and the first thing that I noticed was how poor they communicate. Like, they are so absolutely frantic.
Yeah.
Like, I was saying, is there no standard operating procedure? So I want to pull up the part that stood out to me. No?
Yeah.
So listen, this is now after it stops. So basically, the replay operator is I'm taking you to the moment where the VAR shouts, "Oh shit!" And I'm guessing the VAR is Ollie. Yeah. And then there's
the VAR isn't Ollie. Ollie is the operating person. Ollie wasn't in the VAR. He wasn't even supposed to be speaking.
Oh.
Yeah, Ollie wasn't supposed to be speaking. Ollie just was telling that other guy who was the guy, the replay operator, that they should delay the game. That's what Ollie was saying.
Ollie is actually the PGMOL hub operations
person. Yeah.
So okay, so cool. So the PGML is saying stop the game. So the organization that ran this literally said stop the game.
Now, actually, the way I heard it was this Ollie person.
Ollie wasn't
is-
on the audio. That's the thing.
He wasn't,
Ollie was in the room.
But he's actually the junior in that room. He was the youngest in that room. He wasn't even supposed to be speaking.
No. You, that person that you were hearing speaking was the camera.
Nah,
operator.
he wasn't the one that wasn't speaking.
Look here. You are confused.
No, 100%. The one that wasn't speaking is Ollie.
Yes.
He was the junior that wasn't supposed to be even giving his say in there. I think he's like 50 years old. He's like some graduate from Netherlands apparently. And this Oliver just took it upon himself to tell these people, yo, delay the game. And then the replay operator who was operating the replays, asking them, are you happy with the picture? Was speaking to the two VAR people, the VAR refs, basically. Telling them this is what you should do essentially.
So the moment it's happening and they just after he says, oh shit, and then it says delay, Ollie's saying delay, nah? Then 5 more seconds, it's now quiet, and then the VAR says pardon, and then he says, Ollie's saying delay the game, the decision is onside. VAR says can't do anything, silence for 4 seconds. It's like, is there no instruction who you are speaking to? VAR operator, please delay the game. VAR operators, that way now VAR, no, that is me, or there's a tag for you or something. Because there's, guys, imagine this was imagine this is what the operating room sounded like.
Yeah. Yo, he's not alive. Are you happy with this?
Oh yeah.
What? Excuse me? Oh fuck, what are you talking about?
No, we've already.
But that's a great analogy you just put forward there. So this is exactly how I understood it. So if you're talking about the operating table, the two surgeons would be the VAR operators, no?
Yeah.
And the replay operator would be the guy handing them the scalpels.
Yeah.
And then Ollie would be a guy cleaning some shit over there.
I'm telling you have gravitated towards Ollie.
Listen,
what's your beef with Ollie, blood? Ollie was trying.
Listen to me. What I'm trying to explain.
Ollie was trying.
I'm trying to give you the reason why they were so confused. Because Ollie is telling them to stop the game. They are deciding. They have made the decision. Now this guy is telling them, like, imagine we are the VAR people. So this guy is telling us, delay the game. We are now confused by why this guy is telling us to delay the game. That's why they said pardon. They couldn't understand because these two guys knew the mess up already. They knew what was going on. The VAR people they weren't really sure that this was all even happening. They were just confused. By the time they had realized the game is in its second phase of play, and they were now telling them.
No, the person that was confused was the VAR.
Yeah, the VAR. That's what I'm saying. By the time they realized what was actually going on, the game was in its second phase of play, and they said to the guy they can't do anything because they now couldn't stop because the line.
But the letter of the law, but I mean that has such big implications on the game, man.
Yeah, bro.
Is there no executive decisions being made that guys? Our goal is to get the right results. I hear you talking about phases of play, no? And I heard the argument, and whenever we talk about phases of play, the argument is always, where do we draw the line with phases of play? Is it 1 phase? Is it 2 phases? 3, 5, 10? Yeah. Because imagine, like, 10 phases later, it was...
No, it's just fucking give this goal.
Exactly, this goal that happened that you should have... You know that penalty? That bra off, send his wife and children back to Brazil. Yeah. Like, and now we're revoking visas and passports. It's just like...
Now, here's my trip now. I was thinking about this today. Do you remember, let's say 10 years? Remember we were in high school when we were watching football?
Yo, what a good time.
Do you remember that? Do you remember it not feeling like there was anything missing?
It never did.
Football was around for 100 years. No? And it never once felt like we needed a VAR. Everything was fine. Like, yes, there were a few
crazy
here and there. And it was just always only like the on the line goal situations.
Yes, that once there was a few crazy raids.
Other than that, when the goal was given offside, you know, they would leave it to us to like stray about it, like, oh, that was offside, and that was cool. It wasn't like it is now. Like, I'm thinking, did we actually need VAR?
These 2 years, because VAR's made us so toxic, no?
Yes.
Because VAR was the promise of greatness. It was a promise of 100% calls, because I think that's what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
100% correct calls. And VAR at the moment isn't providing that. And I think we also need to realize that VAR is never going to be 100% correct.
Yeah.
And clearly these crackheads operating in the VAR room, they must improve. Now you see, this is a systematic error. This is like from the top, from fucking that thief.
Yeah.
What's his name?
The
head of the PGMO, not Mike Dean, Howard Webb. I hated it since he was a...
Now, the thing is...
Yo, I will tell you now, I hate Howard Webb.
The thing is, we could say it's an operating issue now, but the thing is, we are actually fixing a very small problem with a bigger problem with VAR. We are like fixing, okay, 1 or 2 goals that maybe may have given or may have not given. We wouldn't even know back then. It didn't even hit us like that back then. It wasn't like, there was such a massive problem with these decisions. Do you know what I mean? Now, we have fixed that problem with this problem where, oh no, there are now massive problems. Like, there's so many times where we know the VAR has gotten it wrong. And like now it's there for us to criticize now. Do you know what I mean? It's under the microscope.
No, I disagree completely.
So you say VAR we need VAR basically. That's what you're saying.
So if I were to make the analogy of incorrect refereeing decisions being made on the field, that is a bleeding wound, eh? So now we have someone who's, in this case, the PGMOL, that is in charge of fixing this wound, bandaging it up. No? So I always use the example of rugby union. You see how VAR is done at rugby union, and you're like, my friend, it's not that deep. These niggas don't sound stressed ever. It is such a clear system. They make mistakes, no? But you hear the conversation the whole time, and the way these people speak to each other is nothing like the way these people speak to each other. So the equivalent of rugby, they take a piece of bandage and they wrap your arm up. The PGMOL is using cement and trying to plaster your wound closed. This is not fit for purpose. This is not. And I think they're trying, because football's most a grandiose sport, they don't want to humble themselves and take experience from rugby referees. Because the video assistant, the fourth official in rugby, has been around for years, and the system is perfected. It's smooth. In tennis, they have appeals. Everywhere there's technology available. Soccer's been so far behind. And now to come out with this garbage.
But look, yes, we've been so far behind. But it was fine, bro. It was fine for all the years, bro.
It can get better. No.
I think once we start, the thing is, no, VAR was fun for a while. But I've gotten to the point where I thought back, like, we were enjoying football before this.
Yeah, you can't celebrate a goal now.
Yes, you can't celebrate a goal now. For me, rather whether it's against you or for you, let's like, if it's a goal and they say it's a goal and the linesman makes a mistake, it is what it is. But back then, maybe how many like offside goals was there back then that maybe like should have been given or should not have been given? And
I think maybe a solution. Maybe a solution is we do it NBA tennis style. You get 3 appeals. Cricket style even. You get 3 appeals.
In NBA you only get 1.
Now in cricket you maybe get 3 or something like that. So you get a review.
Oh, that's great. I like that.
That's a quality way to...
You get 1 review.
You get a review a game. You use your review on something stupid, you fucked.
Yeah.
But otherwise the on-field decision, I think for offsides, VAR, you just check the offside there. But for other decisions and cut like that, no.
Because it's actually not supposed to be
perfect. It's not supposed. You're not supposed to police every section of the game.
And yes, because think about how it feels when you're playing on a pitch somewhere. You're still having the ball at the time, even though all the calls are 100%. It's not. The sport situation is not supposed to be absolutely accurate with everything. That's just not what it is. It's nowadays. They try and I get it that way. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think it's actually necessary. Like if I'm thinking about it, like. If they were to take away VAR, we just go back to the way things were. Yes, people will now complain because we've had VAR.
Yeah.
But if I'm thinking back then, it wasn't a perfect system. Sometimes calls were given, sometimes they weren't, and it was wrong or right or whatever. But it was great. It was still great.
I feel you.
The game was still great. We were still enjoying. There was nothing missing. We didn't feel like, oh, there needs to be something done here. Do you know what I mean?
No, but we must again take we must do a roll call of where we are right now. And where we are right now, there needs to be a change. And it needs to be a change from top to bottom, because what they are doing there, that's not working.
Yeah, that's not working.
That's not how you can speak to each other in a stressful situation.
100%.
But look here, moving on. So we've asked you guys to...
New segment
time, you know. So we've asked you guys to send in some voice notes about just like your feelings about the football in the last 7 days. So the first one's going to be from big man Tony.
By the way, if you want to send in something, we're going to put up Bakes' number on the screen.
Myself and
please,
number.
Please.
Women with children, come forward. Any other single orientated. I don't want to deal with no boyfriend. I take all the comers, man. Let's not fuck around here. You're all welcome. So this is from Tony. Let's see what Tony has to say.
But when those English fans are real, they are fucking nasty, no? He's gonna be the reason that Onana's gonna get racially abused. one way only. Play the Turk. Let Onana see what needs to be done as a goalkeeper, because I don't care about these nominations and Champions League, what, because you let go of a Golden Glove winner last season. He literally kept us above. Like, you know, he kept us afloat.
17 clean sheets.
The only thing David De Gea was missing was the distribution from the back. But other than that, David De Gea fucking towers above Onana.
Sure, no, the niggas spitting facts though.
Facts, bro.
The niggas spitting facts at the
And
moment.
I'm thinking that the goalkeeper distribution is a bit overrated.
I think no, clearly it is.
I think it's overrated.
Because what you're getting from it to what you're giving up for it. I think goals wise we ain't matching up.
Now you just want to play around. You want to give your centre back more ball, basically.
Exactly, and I don't want the ball at the back. I want the ball for the front.
Yeah.
You know. So that was Tony's
Do you remember
opinion.
Victor Valdez?
Yes, I do.
Do you guys ever think Victor Valdez was out here doing around the world in the polls?
And he played in Prime Barca.
He played Prime Barca, the best footballing spectacle we have ever seen. And no one was worried about his distribution. If he got the ball in the field, they're going to pass you freak. And that's all you really need.
Yeah.
You need to be good as the 10 players in field. Now you want to worry about,
the goalkeeper.
the goalkeeper be able to do the Villa passes.
Bro, let that nigga cook, blood. So that was Tony. I back Tony. I think the guy should have stayed in.
We appreciate you, Tony. Thank you for
100%.
that.
And now we have my young nigga Luto. Luto has some strong opinions. I listened to a portion. Let's see if this is the one.
United fans need to understand that their club is fucked, because at the end of the day, there's no moving of the Glazers unless they die. The nigga by the name of Alex Ferguson and Darren Fletcher, those niggas still have their foot firmly and very far up United's arse, and they're not letting the club progress. So, until they scrap a whole lot of these niggas up top that are actually influencing what's happening, like behind the scenes, United is gonna stay as shit as.
That's a bit mad, and that was a strong opinion, but I think I don't think that's taken into thought enough. That because think how much of the old, and there was actually a point I heard in the week in United's backroom staff. So many of them are still from the Oli era, from the Mourinho, from Van Gaal. There's people from Van Gaal's era at your club.
Yeah, it's a crazy one. We have a lot of conflicting cultures and ways in that club right now. It's weird, bro. It's weird. Darren Fletcher, to me, still, I could never get behind Darren Fletcher as our director, from our midfielder to that, bro. He played for West. Didn't he play for West Bromwich Albion? To make the jump from West Bromwich Albion
To running operations
the
of
football
United.
club. My G. Where'd you get those minerals from, bro? What did he do? What did he do, man,
This
bro?
man has the best business etiquette you've ever seen. Really is.
Now you see that shit, that's crazy. That's straight up crazy.
Look, he's moving mad. And then lastly, another one from Luto. This is about Chelsea, I believe.
Chelsea.
I like the laugh.
Shit, like they are garbage. Because how do you only win 5 games and it's like October? Since the beginning of the year, January, they've only won 5 games. They've fallen so far by the wayside.
that's
It is
deep,
not even
blood.
funny. they have just become shit. And you can see it. The curse is actually just spread throughout the whole team because just everyone has become garbage. And it's crazy as to how their buying strategy is not working for shit because they're spending a stupid amount of money. And now the players that actually they've bought, they end up being shit. They end up flopping, and they're flopping like crazy. And now they can't do shit with them because who the hell's going to pay for these overpriced shit players? And then the top of it, they got long-term contracts.
They've created a United problem now.
They have, no? But
they've paid their way into like becoming like us, basically.
But Chelsea also have a strategy. They can sell off assets for large quantities. They made 100 and something million of Havertz and Mount. What?
How do they do that?
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Who agreed to pay 65 million, 70, 80? Wait, how much was Havertz? 85 or 65?
I have no idea.
But 65, I think.
Mount 55.
Bro, how did you make 110 of those to waste, man? But Mount is starting to look better, I must say.
Yeah, in his last game, he
looking more
really
lively.
played well. I'm not gonna lie.
But just the fact that they can get away with that, you know, shows that there is still hope for Chelsea. But we've had a long episode.
Yeah, we've had a long
I'm physically
episode.
exhausted from
Me
ranting
as
and
well.
raving.
But it's been good. It's been good catching up with you guys. You know, it's been an eventful couple of days.
It has.
For all teams in the Premier League, 100%. You know, there's just problems everywhere.
There's problems everywhere. Everyone's going through it.
Everyone's going through something, bro. And I think that's good for us because we have more like content to speak of. Because I think if everything was just going well for each team, it'd be kind of difficult to speak about anything. You know.
That's the thing, you know. Then we just started talking about United's problems. Who said what? Who physically abused who this week?
Yeah, we can have fucking look through Twitter pages to find them to speak about.
You know, but I'm glad we were here. This has been a bit of a juicer. So
100%.
like and subscribe if you made it to the end.
Give us some comments. Us a belief.
Please. We just want to try to
We just want to talk to y'all.
Plus. We want to feel like a man them, you know?
Anyways, we'll catch you.
Cheers.
Be good. GG's.